interesting thing I find, Pete, is that if we weren't doing JobKeeper, like if there was no JobKeeper, those numbers would have been 6 million plus those 594,000 people that lost their jobs. So obviously, JobKeeper has been fantastic in keeping the numbers down. Our unemployment rate would have been around 50%. But of course, other countries have put other programs in, but they haven't been as good as ours. Look at the US unemployment rate, 14.7%. So they were terrible numbers. We expected it. I think the bottom line is the fact that we're opening up the economy now. Let's hope over the next month or two those numbers start to fall off as people go back to work.
What would it have been, Pete, if there had been no JobKeeper? What would the rate have been? Over 20%?
Yeah. Okay. Well, when you think about it, Pete, the labour force is about 12 million workers and 6 million people are on JobKeeper. So that the unemployment rate would have been 50%. But obviously everyone would have gone on the job seeker. But if you're on job seeker, you're unemployed. So in many ways, it would be a crazy number. But all governments have rescued their workers. But still, the Americans, it's 14.7%. The rescue program there is not half as good as ours.
What about how some politicians, some Liberals are saying, we should stop JobKeeper for some workers, particularly with those businesses that are coming back to make way for other businesses that are doing it tough at the moment. What's your thoughts on that? Yeah, well, you've got to be really careful, Pete. And because I've been around the block a few times in my life, I remember when I was young and dumb and I thought I could paint a house by just doing the undercoat and one coat. And gee, I found out that you have to put the second coat on. And I think this is what the JobKeeper program is all about. It is about the fact that you need to keep people, A, in jobs and B, spending money. And at the moment, people aren't spending money to the same extent. The Liberal politicians are saying, look after, like, for example, the tourism businesses in Cairns because they're in trouble. I agree. And maybe JobKeeper should be extended to them. But if you take away JobKeeper from the people in Sydney and Melbourne, guess what? They don't feel wealthy. They won't go on holidays and they won't spend money in Cairns and the Gold Coast. So what you're saying is, so if a business recovers and the staff can go back to work full time, that they should still get JobKeeper on top of their wage?
Yeah, at least until they feel as we start seeing that the retail numbers are starting to look good. This is all about resuscitating the economy, Pete. And if we don't resuscitate it enough, economic growth is really poor, tax collections are terrible, and so the budget blows out anyway. So I think the important thing is the people who are preempting this really aren't doing the numbers. And I think the Treasurer would love to get a JobKeeper early, but he's not going to do it unless unemployment's coming down and retail numbers are starting to rise.
Well, I mean, Labor, wants it extended. On top of the Liberals there, they want it to come off some of the businesses that are returning. They should not get JobKeeper, but that money should then go to, students or workers of foreign-based companies. Is there merit in that?
Yeah, there is merit in looking at, for example, the workers who work for that catering company, Donato, owned by Emirates and therefore the Dubai government. And these people aren't being paid at all. Now, these are Australians who have paid tax their whole life, and they used to be owned by somebody else. You've got people, say casuals, who didn't qualify for the 1 year employment qualification. These sort of people could be considered if we feel as though we need to get more momentum in terms of retail sales and consumption and all that sort of stuff.
Just quickly, the share market at the moment, I mean, it's continuing in quite a topsy-turvy fashion. What are you thinking here? Is it going down again?
Pete, look, it will depend on the success of the opening up of all the economies around the world. Overnight, the US saw bank shares rise for the first time in a long time. That's a reflection of belief that the US economy is going to start being more economically powerful, growing again. Therefore, that'd be good for banks. Oil prices went up $9 overnight. That means that the world economy expectation is getting better. And as long as that works, there's no serious leg down. If it doesn't work, there could be a serious leg down. Without a serious leg down, we could just keep creeping up, based on how successful the opening up of economies become over the next 2 or 3 months.